Freedom doesn't always arrive with a celebration. Sometimes it comes with uncertainty, rivalry, and a sense of unfinished unity. This was the stark reality facing Hubert Maga, the very first president of Dahomey, which we know today as Benin. Imagine a map of Africa and zoom in on a nation shaped by French colonial rule and a deep, simmering regional imbalance. Born in 1916 in the northern part of Dahomey, Maga grew up in a country where all the economic and political power was concentrated in the south. The north, his home, was left behind, marginalized. When independence finally came, it didn't magically erase this divide. In fact, it threw it into the spotlight. Hubert Maga rose to become the voice for the North. He represented all those who felt left out of the new future being carved out by colonial elites and powerful Southern politicians. His leadership wasn't forged in the fires of revolutionary violence, but through careful political negotiation, relentless advocacy for his region, and fragile, often difficult, compromises. In 1960, Dahomey gained its independence from France. Hubert Maga became its first president, handed the monumental task of leading a nation that existed more on paper than in actual unity. The common enemy, colonialism, was gone, and in its place, ethnic rivalry, regional competition, and raw personal ambition rushed in to fill the void. Maga's vision for independence was one of balance, not one region dominating another. He tried to redistribute power and give the northern communities a real stake in their country's leadership. But his presidency was a constant battle. He was relentlessly undermined by his political rivals, especially Surumiga Napathy and Justin Aho. Each of them represented powerful, competing interests from other regions. Instead of building strong, lasting institutions, Dahomey fell into a vicious cycle of mistrust. Politics became a zero-sum game where one person's win was another's loss. Coups started replacing elections. Dialogue was silenced by military intervention. And in 1963, Hubert Maga was overthrown in a military coup. His fall became one of Africa's earliest, most painful examples of post-independence instability. But his story doesn't end there. After years of political chaos, in 1970, Maga made a surprising return, not as a sole ruler, but as part of a unique presidential council. This was a rotating leadership system he shared with his former rivals. It was a strange experiment, born more out of desperation to save the country than any grand idealistic vision. Sadly, the experiment failed. In 1972, the military seized power once again, putting a definitive end to civilian rule. Hubert Maga's legacy is uncomfortable, but it's incredibly important. He represents a truth that many triumphant liberation stories tend to gloss over. Political freedom without national cohesion is fragile, like a house built on sand. Maga didn't fail because he lacked a vision. He failed because the nation he inherited was never truly stitched together in the first place. He managed to liberate a state, but the state itself could not yet find a way to liberate itself from its own divisions. If you found this story compelling, please subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into the complex history of African liberation. Like, comment, and share to help us bring these important stories to a wider audience. Thanks for watching.